Sowore versus Buhari. President Buhari has turned Nigeria into an evil empire. This is written by a man called Bayo. Is Nigeria an evil empire? That's a question we should ask ourselves. And in certain quarters, the answer is yes, while some might say no. In the opinion of this writer, he said yes, Nigeria is an evil empire. President Muhammadu Buhari has turned Nigeria into an evil empire. Since Buhari's arrival in Aso Rock, the evidence has turned Nigeria into evil empire grows every day. The barbaric clampdown on critics of Buhari's evil regime makes Sani Abacha, Nigeria's president, head of state, erstwhile brutal military maximum dictator, a progressive democratic president. Buhari, as president in a democratic government, has taken over all the three branches of the government: executive, judiciary, and the legislature. He now controls all the three branches of government. Separation of power, checks and balances have been completely wiped out. Judges now wait on Buhari to write their judgment. The National Assembly has been pocketed. The legislators are as good as dead. They are simply rubber stamp. The military and the police have become sniffing dogs for Buhari to hunker down critics of his evil rule. Anyone that dissents, he will punish. Omoyele Sowore and Olawale Bakare, aka Mandate, were abducted 100 days, and now it makes it 101 days ago in the wee hours of the night in their hotel suites without warrant for being part of a peaceful protest start revolution now. Buhari ordered his secret police, DSS, his dogs, to keep Sowore and Bakare in detention for 45 days without bail, without trial, and initially they wanted 90 days. At the expiration of 45 days in solitary confinement, Mr. Femi Falana, senior advocate of Nigeria, the attorney for the duo, petitioned the court for bail. Justice Taiwo, the presiding judge, granted the defendant's bail. In his characteristic manner of defying court orders, Buhari directed DSS and the defendant should not be released. And that is what he did. Mr. Falana went back to court to seek order to compel the government to obey Justice Taiwo's bail order. Meanwhile, Buhari, in his mischievous desperation to keep Sowore in detention, transferred the case to one Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu. As expected, Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu did not disappoint Buhari. She granted Sowore and Bakare bail with conditions literally impossible for the defendants to meet. Again, Mr. Falana was back in court. He asked the court to relax the bail conditions. Justice Ijeoma Ojukwu agreed to liberalize some of the conditions. Yesterday, the full trial of trumped-up charges of treason, money laundering, and insulting the president, Buhari, that were brought up against Sowore and Bakare began in the Federal High Court, Abuja. But the hearing did not go far because Buhari had directed DSS that government witness will testify with mask over their faces or absent of the camera. As expected, Mr. Falana kicked against masked witnesses or playing videotapes that have been obscured. Mr. Falana said he would not agree to secret trial. Masked witnesses only in a zombie nation ruled by zombie president and with zombie citizens could that happen. How then do we know who is speaking? Anyone can be under the mask and speak and lie and say whatever it is. In this sort of high profile case, trumped up charges, everyone's eyes and face should be open for everyone to see who they are. Anyway, Mr. Falana said all conditions for bail for his client had been perfected and that they would be released yesterday. Justice Ojukwu approved the bill, but unfortunately, this is not the case, as the DSS decided to do what their Lord asked them to do. Mr. Falana got to DSS office to secure the release of his client. Buhari had instructed DSS not to release them. DSS explanation was that the office had closed for the day. The case had been adjourned until December 5th to 6th, and they were asked to come the next day, which they did. The DSS acknowledged the receipt of the ruling but refused. The violent violation of press freedom and rule of law by Buhari is an uncomfortable reminder of Decree Number 4. Decree 4 is a media gagging rule imposed by Buhari when he was a military ruler. And a lot of people, probably they weren't born then, or people are not aware of these things. We should go back and see the antecedent. Let us see the CV of Buhari. Decree 4, that is what it is, and it is the same thing that is practicing now. It criminalized the publication of any message, rumor, report, or any statement that brought the government or any public officer to ridicule or disrespect. Under Buhari, the Committee to Protect Journalists (CPJ) documented detentions, assaults, and harassment of the press. Jones Abiri, editor of the Weekly Source, was detained without charges in 2016 and denied contact with his family or a lawyer for over 2 years. Samuel Ogundikpe, Premium Times reporter, was detained and prosecuted for refusing to reveal a source. In 2017, 4 Nigerian journalists, famous Giobaro, Dex editor with the state-owned Glory FM 97.1 in Bayelsa State, Lawrence Okoje of NTA in Edo State, Ikechukwu Onugbogu, a cameraman with Anambra Broadcasting Service, and Abdul Ganiyu Lawal, a freelance journalist, broadcast journalist in Ekiti, were all shot dead by unknown gunmen. In 2018, Tony Ezemako, the Abuja Bureau chief of Daily Independent, was arrested and detained by DSS for a week without charges. Chido Onuma, on his arrival at Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, was whisked away by DSS for wearing t-shirt with the inscription, "We are all Biafrans." The list is growing every day. It is no secret that even before the end of his first term, Buhari has become deflated, depressed, paralyzed, powerless, and delusioned about his own leadership. Here we have a president who lost the hair in his sails because he has no vision, no purpose, there is no progress. Leadership without visionary perspective is meaningless. Buhari should be reminded that brutality, despotism, and cruelty does not make a leader. A leader must give up the pursuit of wickedness and revenge. Buhari missed so many opportunities to define his core values as a leader. The example of a leader determines the experience of the people. A nation's leadership determines the direction of the whole country. Now we know why Buhari is so handicapped to fight corruption and other problems facing the country. Nigeria's history of corruption is long and benighted. Why is the president so impotent in dealing with brood vipers of his administration, the cabals, criminals? The scale and scope of graft on Buhari's watch are unbelievable for a government of change, supposedly led by a man of integrity. His administration serves as a repository for professional crooks, experienced rogues, and born-again thieves. More evidence of grand-scale graft in Buhari's administration continues to defy reason and explanation. In the face of all of this graft and greed, the president is criminally quiet and self-possessed and maintains a starchy reserve. He has never been seen to be outraged by the brazen crookedness of his cabinet members on corruption. His trajectory crusade against corruption has been jagged. Instead, he derives joy and satisfaction in arresting and jailing critics of his barbaric regime. It bears repeating that Nigeria and Nigerians are going through troubling times under the despicable, primitive, and oppressive Buhari. Buhari has taken away our freedom of press, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of association, freedom of life. Welcome to the newest evil empire of the 21st century. So guys, that is the article. It has explained itself. And I've analyzed few things there. And I think you can also do that in the comment section. Is this not an evil empire? If you disagree, drop your comment in the section below. And while you're at that, may I remind you, if you're not part of this channel, let us build this channel together. If you're not part of this wonderful channel, simply tap on that subscription button. It's just down there below, and the red notification icon bell. Please do tap on it so you'll be notified whenever videos are uploaded. Thanks for stopping by.